what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a spring look because it's spring and it's finally April, thank God, because March was taking forever. I'm really glad that it's finally like springtime, the sun's kind of coming out of it. We were kind of like in a weird cloudy thing here and it's starting to finally feel like spring. So I thought this was a great time to start doing some spring looks, this being my first one, which is kind of like a soft pinkish kind of glam, a lot of like inner glow kind of feel from the skin, and that's really what I wanted to focus on today. So if you're interested in seeing how I got this soft spring glam look, please keep watching. Just disregard this weird wrinkles in the back. I tried to steam this out for like an hour and it just didn't steam out 100%. So just work with me here, guys. Ignore all the flaws today. But as you can see, my face has a little bit of a breakout right now. So I'm going to show you guys how I conceal that and cover it up with my foundation and my concealer. My face doesn't look like great, but I thought this was a good opportunity to show you guys like how I conceal them and cover them up, because it is important. And let's be real here, everyone has something up with their skin, unless you're just like lucky and your skin is like flawless, which there are people who do have flawless skin. Lucky you guys. I am not one of those people. My skin has always been like problem skin. I've always had like acne scars, stuff like that, and I still do. As you can see, I have like my breakouts, especially here in the chin area. This seems to be like my more prominent area for my breakouts now. But yeah, so I'll show you guys how I conceal those today, and then we're going to be doing a springy eye look, keeping it pretty soft for this look, because I feel like when I think of spring, I think of like pastel colors. I think of a really soft, fresh look, pretty much. So I'm going to do an eye that I actually do often, and I think it just works well for spring. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and I guess we can do the eyes first. Pretty much that's usually what I do unless I'm like filming. Sometimes I usually do like my foundation first when I'm filming, but today let's go ahead and do the eyes. And this is something new. I don't usually do both of my eyes on camera, but we're gonna do that today. Taking my Tarte Shape Tape and prepping my eyelids. I'm taking the Beauty Bakerie translucent flower setting powder and applying some of this, and I'm just putting a little bit today, not too much, slightly tapping it over the eyelid. For my eyes today, I'm going to be mostly taking the Disney Designer Collection in ColourPop Cosmetics. It's a Princess Thing palette. There's lots of tones in here that I think would work perfectly for a spring look, a really like rosy pink spring look, or like a neutral spring look. So that's what we're going to use today. So today I'm going to be mixing the shades Juju and Grumpy together, these two right here. And I'm just taking a Morphe M514 brush. And so for this, we're going to be applying it to the outer corners of our eye. All the way out here. So as you can see, I'm kind of taking it above the crease on the outer corner of my eye so I can like peep through. Also going to lightly drag that in just a little, keeping it mainly here. I'm not taking it out too far from the eye as well. Keeping that just pretty much in there. So the next thing I'm going to do is take a Sigma Diffuse Crease Brush and the shade Chip right here. Basically just going to be going over the edges with this to make sure that it's nice and soft. I like this look to be very diffuse. I want it to look super, super soft on the edges, really nice and blended. I don't want it to look harsh at all, so I like to go over the edges like this. I keep this look pretty simple. I don't add too many steps to the eyeshadow for this look. So the next thing we're going to do is take this cream shadow. This is in the shade Pinky Promise. This is from Estee's International Let's Makeup collection. I will leave the link down below so you can go ahead and shop and check out the other products in the collection. So I really like this because it has like this really pretty glittery shimmer to it. It's really, really nice. I've used this once or a few times already. This is the product that actually made me want to do this tutorial for a spring look. So I didn't add anything else onto my lids besides this shade on the outer corner of my eye and this cream shadow right here. So I actually started by using my finger, which is kind of hard because I have nails today, but then I'll show you what I do for the rest. Let me show you guys a swatch really quick. It's kind of weird to see it on the finger. You don't really get to see it too well until it's like on the eye. So I'm gonna go ahead and take some on my ring finger. I'm just warming it up with my finger as well so I can get a little bit more creamy. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this onto my eye like that. Do you guys see that? Look at that, okay? Wow. And I'm taking it pretty high. So I'm basically just smudging it on like half of the eyelid here. So I'm also taking this up into the crease, whatever you can put, and then blending that into the shadow. And then once I get to the shadow that we applied on the outer corner of the eye, I'm gonna start patting that to make it blend together. And then what I like to do is go in with a detail brush, grab some of that onto the brush, and fill in any little spaces that you feel need a little bit more. For me, I like to fill in this top part here. And then what you can do is go back in with your Morphe brush that you use to blend these shadows and kind of just diffuse these together. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is go back in with the It's a Princess Thing palette, and I'm going to be mixing a little bit of the shade Prince Charming and Ray together. It's these two shades right here, and I'm very lightly tapping that with my detail brush, and I'm just going to apply just a little bit of this over that cream shadow just to add a little bit more sparkle. And then I'm going to go in with my Sigma diffuse crease brush and just diffuse the edges here a little bit. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking the shade Abu right here from the same palette and taking a pointed crease brush. This is the B Bella pointed crease brush, and on the outer corner of my eye I'm just going to diffuse that along the lash line here. Now I'm going to prep my false lashes. I'm going to be using the Bold Face Makeup Muse Collection lashes in the style Now or Never. I love these. These are one of my favorites. I'm planning on ordering a few more. They sent me these, but I think I may stock up on a little bit more because these are perfect for my eye shape, especially for this look that I'm doing right here. They're extremely wispy on the ends, and I love that for my eye. I'm on the hunt for a good like wedding lash for my wedding day, and I actually have these on my list possibly. They're one of the choices. Okay, so take a look at this lash. Do you see how it's super wispy at the end? I love that so much. That is the perfect style for my eyes to like open them up. While those are getting tacky, we are going to be applying some mascara. This is the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. Next thing I'm going to do is take this BH Cosmetics brush. I think this is from one of their Coachella collections. I can't remember exactly the name, but what we're going to do is take those first two shades that we took at the beginning for the outer corner of the eye and mix those together, and then we're going to be taking this and blending it on the outer corner of our lower lash line and then slightly bringing it in, but you want to keep most of the color on the outer corner of your eye here. I'm going to go ahead and apply these lashes off camera. I'm going to bring this closer to me because I'm about to outline the lashes. This is the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper, and basically what I'm going to do is go over the lash band to make sure that it's hidden, and then I'm going to just connect the end of the lash to the inner corner of my eye. I did cut these lashes pretty short, so sometimes it can look a little bit weird if I don't put eyeliner, so I'd like to complete that after I apply them. That way I can see where I need to map out everything. Okay, so that's not the greatest of eyeliner. I went a bit thicker than I expected. You know, when you start doing your eyeliner and you just keep going and going and going. Usually I'll do like a thinner line, but this is doing it for me. This is all right. So we're gonna move on to our skin. So I have lots of these little spots here on my face and scarring. I already applied primer to my face earlier. This stuff is actually pretty thick. See, I have a mark right there. I'm gonna cover it right up with that. And I'm not even applying like too much. Like, look at that, covered that pretty good. And then I have a few scars here. So I just like to use this one basically to spot conceal. So I'm going to try and do a bit of color correcting around this area. I get a lot of like darkness here around my lip and mouth area. Not really sure why, it's just always been there, and I've been trying to find like new ways to kind of conceal that. So I've had this for a while, like since before I even started like my videos. This is the Ellen Tracy Color Correcting Concealer Stack. So I'm going to be mixing probably this like orange shade right here and a little bit of the pink. Not too much, but the orange really is what does the trick for me, really. This thing is actually kind of cool too. Like, you can open the different ones. It's basically just all stacked. So I'm going to go ahead and take that more orange one. I would prefer it to be more orange. This is really not like the desired color that I want it to be. So I've been like on the lookout for something that's slightly better for me to use, and obviously orange. Sometimes I actually use lipstick, like a red lipstick, but that doesn't always like conceal as great, you know what I mean? We're looking a little crazy at this point, which is okay because everything looks crazy until the end, so don't worry about it. I'm taking the L'Oreal Paris Infallible More Than Concealer. This is in the shade Cashew, and I like to apply this underneath my eyes here before I do foundation. This is like a bit of pre-concealing going on here, just to get that extra coverage in, because my eyes here have been so dark. Like, I keep getting like this darkness here underneath my eyes. I have like some bags there, so I like to pre-conceal like this. This is a step that I've been doing for a while, and it's just worked out for my routine. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and go in with our foundation. So I like to mix my foundations a little. This has like been a thing that I've been doing. I like to take something like the Tarte Amazonian Clay foundation, which is a lot more matte, but then I like to mix it in with a few drops of something that's a little bit more dewy or moisturizing. I like take out some of this foundation. I kind of just apply it like that because it's in a tube already. So I apply some of the Amazonian Clay foundation. This is in the shade Tan Honey. I'm going to take the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter foundation. This is in the shade number 270. Now this is a soft matte finish, but for me it's always been slightly more dewy. My face is a little bit more oily, so this has always had a more moisturizing finish on me than a soft matte finish. This is a Sigma Flat Kabuki. This is the F80 brush, and I'm going to apply some of that Fenty Beauty. I just take like a pump like that, like a really small pump, And I start to stipple that with the Amazonian Clay foundation, just like that. I'm just like holding it here, I'm so weird. So I just like to go in and mix those two together. I'm getting like the best of both worlds, you know what I mean? Mixing in a little bit of moisture with a little bit of a matte. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side, a small little pump there. And then you're gonna start working that into the skin. You obviously don't have to mix your foundations. This is just something that I personally like to do. I find that my skin has been taking it way better when I mix it. Like, it's become like just the perfect combination for my skin to look matte and like not so oily, but has like some glowiness to it, like a little bit of moisture. Okay, so that's pretty much the foundation. Let's go ahead and do some concealer. I'm gonna go in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is in the shade Light Neutral, and I just like to do just like that, not too much. This is a very full coverage concealer. And then when I'm blending this concealer, I use like a really light hand. Personally, I feel like that really works for me. Like when blending it out, it blends it out like flawlessly, I feel like. So I basically used that pre-concealing step to conceal, and then I used the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer that I'm using right now to brighten. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is take some of the Beauty Bakerie Yellow Flower Setting Powder. So I'm taking a Real Techniques setting brush. This is one of my new favorite brushes to apply this powder. So I'm going right underneath. So for today, I'm going to be using the Benefit Cosmetics Hoola Bronzer. This is just a little mini one that I have. So I'm going to take this, and then this is a BH Cosmetics brush. This is number 1, I believe, from their Coachella collection last year. I really can't remember exactly what it was, but I know it was from that collection, one of those collections. So I'm just going to use this to warm up my face with some of this bronzer. Before we move on to anything else, I'm going to go ahead and apply some mascara to my bottom lash line here. Next thing we're going to do is I want to add a little bit of glow to the face. So I'm going to take this MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. This is in the shade Soft and Gentle. I'm going to take this Smashbox Precise Blush. I know this is for blush, but I like to use this for something like this. And I'm just going to apply some here just to give it like a more natural looking glow before I put on like some of the harsh highlight. The next thing I'm going to apply is some of this Kylie Cosmetics Salted Caramel Highlighter. I'll be taking a Real Techniques fan brush, and I'm not going to be putting too much highlighter, just a little bit, just like a subtle little glow on the face. I don't want to like be blinding. I just want to have enough to have a little glow come out of the skin. Taking a small detail brush, I'll be taking some of that highlighter and applying some here. I'm also going to be applying some of this into the inner corner of my eye. Last thing we're going to do is add some blush. This is the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush. This is in the shade Party. Another reason why I opted not to do like a harsh contour is because I want this to look a little bit more blushy. It is like more pinky rosy because of like spring, so I wanted to focus more on blush and bronzer. So other than that, that's basically the eyes and the face. Now we're going to move on to lips. So I'm taking the Kylie Cosmetics Candy K lip liner and just lining my lips. Now I'm going to take the Kylie Cosmetics Koko Kollection liquid lipstick. This is in the shade khlo Money. This is my favorite liquid lipstick. I use it all the time. Alright, so here is the final look. So like I said before, this look is really focused on the softer kind of look than something that's more dramatic. To me, spring screams like softer makeup look, softer glam, fresh glam. So I really wanted to keep everything else pretty subtle on the eyes especially, and then focus a lot on like an inner glow kind of look. Anyways, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, comment down below, and hit the bell for notifications so that whenever I post a video, you guys are the first ones to know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!